Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I spoke about Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the Democrat candidate to the U.S. presidency, a lot. I like him. I don't really care if someone is a Democrat, Republican, or a communist or socialist, as long as his ideas are good. Good is obviously based on what is good for each of us. Now, Robert Kennedy Jr., was invited by a favorite of mine, Glenn Greenwald, to talk about Assange and Snowden. Now, Julian Assange and Edward Snowden, obviously, they're considered by the U.S., traitors and doing this and doing that, Espionage Act and whatever it is over there. They are bad dudes. Glenn Greenwald was involved in Edward Snowden's breaking the news about the NSA mass surveillance program here. And then he was the one who helped to break the news so many years ago. Now Snowden is in Moscow. He's a Russian citizen. Assange is in a cell in the free country of Great Britain, expecting or waiting extradition probably to the United States to finish his life in prison in the United States of America. We have this beautiful interview conducted by Greenwald with Kennedy, and Kennedy says certain things that I can't really believe he says them. And I admire him for this courage, and I think it's fantastic. I agree with what you said, let's put it this way. Here it is. This is from Twitter. So let's go.
Chelsea Manning spent time in prison. Julian Assange is trying to be extradited. Snowden is in an asylum. What do you think about that group of whistleblowers or people who have published these massive amounts of information that were labeled top secret? And would you use your presidential power to pardon them and to protect them from further criminal liability?
Yeah, I mean, I would put a statue of Snowden in Washington. I mean, I think that, when Snowden released, nobody in our country knew about that. The intelligence agencies were mining all of our data and spying on Americans.
Members of Congress didn't know. I remember members of Congress calling you saying, "Tell me what's going on. I'm on the Intelligence Committee and I haven't heard this."
Yeah, and Congress then went and acted on what he told them to change the rules. Oh, how are you making this guy a criminal? He's an American hero. Yeah, I'm going to pardon those guys, up front. I mean, I'm going to look at their...
American hero, he said about Snowden, building a statue for Assange in the United States. I think it was said Washington. And he said, I will pardon them.
Cases, Assange, I'm going to pardon on day one.
Day one. Let's go back here.
I'm going to pardon on day one because... Oh, how are you making this guy a criminal? He's an American hero. Yeah, I'm going to pardon those guys, up front. I mean, I'm going to look at their cases. Assange, I'm going to pardon on day one. Wow. Because it is insane. He's effectively a newspaper publisher. And I don't see why every newspaper publisher in this country is not out there, with pitchforks and torches in front of the White House saying, let this guy go. He didn't, what did he do wrong?
So, my friends, what do you think? How do you call this? At least crazy courage. She should be entitled, or not under freedom of speech, to say whatever he wants. But he runs for presidency, so he bought me on that one. I mean, I'm all in it. Again, why they're criminals? Well, as you said, let's go case by case and study that. But his courage, and not only, I haven't heard others supposedly with big balls saying that, and I'm expecting that to be matched. You go to a store and you want to buy some, a washing machine, and you go over and say, I want to buy it, but the other guys have it cheaper. Oh, we're going to match that one. Just buy it from us. The same here. I'm pretty sure that maybe former President Trump will match that. He said something about in the last day, I'm going to pardon Assange or something like that, or commute or pardon or something. Nothing happened. Or Snowden, one of these guys, I can't remember exactly. He didn't do shit. Now, he was in power. He could have done it. He didn't. This guy says, I will do it. It doesn't mean he will do it, but at least he says it loud and clear. Things that others, that he says, the mass media zips it. Well, at least you don't hear a debate. Now, I think in the past 6 months, they started, Agence France Presse and another, La Pays, I think, or La Paix, I can remember, another 4, there were 5. Big says, oh, how about Julian Assange? Let's rediscuss, free him. Let's don't extradite him. Let's blah, blah. You have Lula da Silva, the communist from Brazil, said he fights for Assange not to be extradited and so on. And others, not the free world. Isn't that strange? When up is down and down is up, supposedly. So yes, this guy has a lot of courage. That's why I think he's going to be unelectable. Why unelectable? Because he's not going to have a chance to go and be against the Republican candidate. He's not going to get to that point unless he starts a different party or something, which is the system doesn't really allow for that. It might take, decades to start a new party and have it, with electoral college and all those guys over there from the third party and being allowed. It's such a system that really pushes everybody else around and out. So I don't think he will be, unless these guys get really desperate. These guys being, but the Democrats. The problem is, as Putin said, and I use Putin not because he's the ultimate truth teller, but he said, just to make my point, I can just say that's my opinion as well, assessment. It doesn't matter what face shows up from what party shows up at the White House, elected by the people. Okay, however you want to call it, elected by the people, not elected by, I don't care. If they get over there, the next day, some people will show up and talk about, hey, here is the list, now go over there, drink your tea and shut up. That's my interpretation of what's going on actually. You have a lot of people coming to the White House, we're going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. They don't do only what they're allowed to in the framework of that. What's his name? Trump could have done a lot of things in the first day in office. He didn't. Executive orders, pack, let the courts take care of it. Until they take care of it, all those things will happen. He didn't do anything about it. Nothing. I will do this on the day 1. Okay, all right. So the same with this guy. I can say, yes, I'm going to do this. We'll see when you get there, because he left a little door open. Did you figure out what that door was open? For him. In case he gets the White House and the people will say, we're going to say, hey, Mr. Kennedy, you said you're going to pardon these guys right now, going to build a statue over there, and the other guy is going to be a national hero or something. Then what? He's going to say, yeah, but you remember what I said over there? What, Mr. President? I said I will study the case by case. I will study the cases. So he's going to say, well, I said it then, but now I changed my mind because look, I studied, I was provided with more evidence, and yes, there's reason to believe that these guys should be indicted and convicted and thrown into jail. That's the little door he left open over there. And you see, because one thing that I saw here in this, in my life, I think it's a weasel move, is when you agree on something. Let's say you and I gonna meet tomorrow at noon. Okay, all right, at noon we meet, we're gonna do this big thing, and tomorrow at noon I don't show up and I let you know that I changed my mind. I met this so many times here, not so many times, because whoever did that to me is like, I changed my mind. Sometimes it happens. There are some big reasons that could modify the schedule, change it, and so on. But the thing is, I changed my mind. Yeah, I changed my mind by studying this. That's the whole purpose, to be courageous. You know, you go 51% or you go beyond any reasonable doubt. Which one you go? If you go without beyond any reasonable doubt, then you don't do anything in this life, almost anything. That's why sometimes you have to take some certain risks. You go with a preponderance of evidence, 51%, instead of beyond any reasonable doubt. So that little door that he left over there, I think he will use it, but we're not going to see him in the White House. I doubt that. I would like to see him over there, if others will be pushed aside. You know what I mean? I mean, what are Kamala? I mean, look at the alternatives. Yeah, I think he would be, at least give it a chance, better than Biden 100%. Kamala, whatever. What you want, the Republicans? Even over there, I'm not sure. Yes, DeSantis, yeah, Trump, yeah, but I want to see these guys. I want to see what's good, something that's good for the people, for the nation. I want them to follow abide by the Constitution, go by it, and respect it, and start saying the truth, and don't live in denial and agree with this make-believe society that these guys are trying to push. You know exactly what I mean. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm very much happy to hear him say what he said, even with that little escape door open for him. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.